And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. And he fires one that's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense, and the first drive they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Rosen. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, and now they look up at a 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Rosen. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Broken tackle there for Nelson. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
2nd and goal from the 1.
No. Check. Patriot!
They'll run it with Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
So the first points of the night belong to our home team as they're able to take the opening kickoff and at least get 3 points out of it.
Yeah, and that helps the crowd, right? It helps people feel good about why they're there watching this game. They moved the ball well on their opening drive.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Corey Peters forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Garoppolo now. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
I think normally we would talk about this more as basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
And the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Ball going deep here for Taylor. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Detroit!
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Watch it now, Barney! Detroit! Back 99 Philly, here we go!
On 2nd down, Rosen. Underneath for Johnson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards on the play. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Gone!
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. 2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Again, it's Rosen. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
Let's talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
Well, you know, he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Now, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The 49ers getting set to trot out there. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is recovered by the Cardinals. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They take over 1st and 10 in excellent field position here. Following the fumble recovery, it's Rosen. His throw incomplete. The tight end, Jermaine Gresham, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10 now. It's Rosen. And Nelson's got it here right side. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. A 3rd field goal of the 1st half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, Rosen. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Three red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Now a handoff, Johnson. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! No. Check. Patriot! Patriot! Over!
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. Jason Myers now for the extra point. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead now stands at 13. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And now running right through it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. The wrist seems fine. The legs were never a problem. As DJ's in the backfield again on 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
They stay on the ground on 1st with Johnson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Watch him now, Barney, Barney! Watch him now, Barney, Barney! Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. Rashard Matthews here on the catch. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Rashard Matthews, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. The extra point now coming from Myers. Myers connects on the PAT, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10.
21. Six. Check.
And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Robert Kimdichie, the one to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Open man is Taylor, he's got it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain at 21 yards. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from the desert after this.
11.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Taylor. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Chandler Jones in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Garoppolo. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. A good pickup there at 22. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Leopard. Leopard. Detroit. Detroit. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
After the interception, here's Rosen. And he's got the veteran here. It's Mike Wallace. A very solid gain of 27.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
Throwing now, Rosen on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Johnson jostles free. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Rosen. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Hey. 4 down.
On second down, here's Rosen. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. So first and 10 now from the 30.
Watch it now, Barney. Leopard.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Mike Wallace, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And he's able to put it through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Toss play to McKinnon. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down. So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now Rosen on 1st down. Caught by Nelson left side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Leopard! Leopard! Gone! 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 Gone!
Rosen on 1st and 10. Finding room inside the 40. And Matthews has it right side. And finally brought down at the 38. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Detroit! Detroit! Everyone's got 4 down. Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Again, it's Johnson. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. Touchdown, Cardinals! David Johnson with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Cards continue to pour it on. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10, kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10.
Like 80! 180! Like 56!
Now McKinnon to start the drive. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. The tackle made there by Dayon Buchanan.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Here we go, here we go.
Here again is McKinnon. And he's got room. Space to maneuver at the 40. And all the way up to the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On the toss, it's McKinnon. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They run once more with McKinnon. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Here we go, here we go. 180!
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Niners on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
120! 180!
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
And they'll start the drive to the ground with Johnson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Cardinals on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is third down and 12.
No. Check. Patriot.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. He's going to air one out. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Matthews, the intended target. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Flush to his right. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Trey Boston. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. He violated a big-time no-no in throwing that pick. Rolling right, throwing across his body.
And you know that your dad taught you that in the backyard when you were a tyke.
Yep.
Don't do it. The problem, every now and then you get away with it. This time, not the case.
Here's Johnson, and he stopped immediately there. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. The stop for no gain brings up second and 10 from the 20.
Watch it now, Barney.
Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike.
Yeah. We don't want none. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
Check. Go get him. Go get him.
Watch it now, Barney. Watch it now, Barney.
The busy night continues for Johnson. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with third and still 7 yards to go.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Cardinals on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. A good effort there from distance, but he might have needed a little more help from the air conditioning behind him on that one.
It probably would have helped. This is awfully close to getting there. It was right on target, but it winds up being just a little bit short.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, John.
McKinnon. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Garoppolo. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the power run out of the bag and got a couple extra yards with it. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
So Charles are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for Arizona, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll have another home date next week as the Carolina Panthers come to town. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll look to regroup next week as they